Hi, I'm Erin, and today I'm going to be leading us through a grounding practice. I invite you to first find a comfortable seat where we will begin our breath work. You can have your eyes open or closed, but let's gently come into our space, beginning with finding the breath, noticing where the breath is at. Is it higher up in the chest? Is it lower towards the belly? Is it thin? Is it short? Or is it already deeper? Is it already nourishing this morning? Or whenever it is you're doing your practice. And now let's intentionally bring the breath to the belly. Inhaling deeply, filling the belly, and exhaling fully, letting the belly fall. Do this a few times here. And now we're going to practice box breath. To do box breath, we will inhale for a count of 4, hold at the top for 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold at the bottom for 4. This brings a balance to the breath and to the body. It helps ground us in the moment and remain present. So we will exhale, 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 and inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. You can let that count go now and just bring your breath back to the belly. And from here, we're going to begin our movement for the day, starting with neck circles, dropping one ear to a shoulder, rolling the chin to the chest, and bringing the other ear to the other shoulder. Just gently rocking back and forth, stretching these muscles that don't usually get a whole lot of attention. And bringing your head back up to center. We're going to do shoulder rolls, lifting up and rolling back 3 times. And up and forward 3 times. We're going to inhale our arms all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch your spine. And make loose fists and gently rotate your wrists as they come down. We're going to place one palm out in front of us, and we're going to cup the fingers, including this part of the hand, so we're not just pushing their fingers back. We're going to take an inhale and press the heel of the hand away. And exhale. We're going to point those fingers down, cup the back of the hand, press the wrist away. Inhale. and release. I'm going to do the other hand now, pressing the palm away from us. Going here, pressing the heel of the hand away. Inhale. Release. Fingers down, cup the back of the hand, the wrist away. Inhale. Release. Right, bringing the hands back down. Now we're going to do our toes. We're going to stretch our legs out in front of us. And we're going to spread our toes wide and scrunch them. Spread them wide and scrunch. Wide and scrunch. We're going to pull our toes towards us and curl them down as best we can. Towards us, down, towards us, down. Now we're going to turn the soles towards each other and away, towards and away, towards and away. We're going to rock the ankles side to side. Now engaging the core, we're going to lift one leg and rotate the wrist or the ankle in one direction and the other. Gently lower back down. Engaging the other half of the core, lifting up, rotating in one direction and the other, and lowering down with control. Now we're going to more focus on the knees. We're going to let those rotate in each direction. This movement is carrying up to the hips, so we're starting to loosen those up. And out and in a few times. All right, let's return to our comfortable seat. And we will do torso circles. So keeping our sits bones grounded, we are rotating our upper body. And reversing that direction. We always do things on both sides and in each direction to create balance. And coming back up to seated. All right, hands resting on our knees. We're going to do our seated cat-cow. Inhaling the heart forward, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Inhaling the heart forward, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine. One more time, inhaling forward. And exhale, round. Coming back up to center, sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale our arms up and side fold to one side. So we're going to keep our opposite hip nice and grounded, pulling a stretch all the way up through the side and reaching those fingertips across. Breathing here, notice the side stretch, notice the tension in your muscles as you breathe. And inhale, we come back up. And exhale to the other side, same thing. Keep this opposite side grounded. Reach up through the side body and across through those fingertips. Breathing here, finding that stretch, noticing the tension. And we inhale back up. Now we're going to twist to one side, placing one hand on a knee, the other behind you on the ground. Spine is nice and tall. We inhale to elongate and we exhale to twist deeper. Inhale to get tall. Exhale to find deeper twist. Unwinding, lifting the arms up. And exhale, twisting to the other side. Again, your spine is nice and tall. Hand resting on the knee and behind you. Inhale to elongate the spine. Exhale to twist deeper. And we inhale and unwind. And now we're going to come to hands and knees. We are going to do a cat-cow flow. So we have our hands under our shoulders, but we have our knees spread wider, about as wide as the mat, and our big toes are touching. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, and sink back onto your heels. We're going to inhale, skim the belly, coming up into our cow. Exhale, rounding and sinking back onto our heels. One more time, inhaling forward. Exhale, rounding, sitting back. Inhale, coming back up and finding a normal tabletop. We have our regular tabletop with our knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders. Fingers are spread wide, so we're nice and grounded here. We are going to do a S shape, a serpentine motion with our spine. We're going to move our shoulders in one direction and hips in the other. And then we're going to swing the opposite way, crossing the midline and following each other on each side like a snake. We're bending our elbows so we can really get into this movement. Your gaze should be low in between your hands. And we're going to come back to stillness. From here, we're going to stand up. Right where we are is fine. Feet are hip distance apart. And we're going to do hip circles. Bending into the knees. We don't need the shoulders to move. We're just trying to move the hips and opposite direction. And finding stillness. From here, we're going to go to the top of our mat and do our sun salutations. We're going to do 3 rounds here, but first we're going to really build our mountain pose. So lifting the toes, we're going to find balance between our feet, finding that spot, and then letting the toes just drop. We have a light bend in the knees, working our way up. Our pelvis is neutral. We are not angled forward. We are not pushed back out. We have our tailbone pointing directly at the earth. We have our core engaged, supporting our lower back. Up here we have our shoulders pulled apart, opening the heart. Palms are facing forward, and the crown is nice and lifted. I invite you to take a moment just feeling into this pose. Feeling how steady you are. Nothing's trying to move. Your bones are supporting you, just holding you up. And here we are able to be as still as the earth. Just grounded, stable. Take one more deep breath here. And we'll begin our sun salutations. Inhaling the arms up above head. Exhaling into a forward fold. Inhaling to a half lift. We have a flat back. Gaze is at the floor. And we exhale back down. Plant the hands. Step back into a high plank. Take a breath in. On the exhale, we bend our elbows nice and tight to the body and bring our belly to the earth. We inhale up into a baby cobra. We tuck our toes and press back into a downward dog. Here we can pedal out the feet where we're bending one knee and then the other, stretching that calf muscle, working the heel towards the ground. Looking forward, walking forward, finding your half lift, exhaling down, inhaling all the way up, hands above head, and exhaling, hands to heart center. We're going to do that again. Inhaling up, exhale into a fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back, exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Take a breath here. On the exhale, bring the belly to the earth, bending the elbows tight. Inhale up into cobra. Tuck the toes, press back into downward dog. You can still pedal out the feet here, but this time I'd like you to focus on bringing your heart towards your thighs. You might need to try to roll your shoulders so you can get a little more space there. Looking forward, walking forward, finding your half lift. Exhaling down into a fold. Inhaling all the way up, hands above head. And exhaling, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Inhale. Exhale, bring the belly to the earth. Inhale up into cobra. Tuck the toes, press back to downward dog. See if you can find stillness this time. Keeping your legs still, working the heels towards the ground, working your heart towards your thighs. We're trying to find a long, flat spine. Looking forward, walking forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands above head. And exhale, hands to heart center. Great job. If you need to take a break and get some water, pause this video. Alright, for this next segment of our sequence, we are going to be down on our knees. If your knees are a sensitive spot for you, maybe grabbing a towel or something that you can have folded underneath your knees for support would be good to grab. And here we go. Inhaling up, exhaling into a fold. Lifting halfway up, coming back into the fold. First, we're going to grab opposite elbows, put a deep bend in the knees, and just hang here. Releasing the neck muscles, just hanging out. Shake out the neck. You can put a sway into your upper body. And I invite you to take a moment and play around with your balance. Leaning a little bit forward into the toes, and then leaning a little bit back, finding the pressure go into your heels. Just shifting back and forth. And notice what that does to your leg muscles. Just noticing. Alright, from here we're going to put the hands on the ground for support. We're going to take the right leg and step back, bringing our knee to the ground, untucking the toes. When we have our balance, we are going to lift up, arms coming all the way up, and pressing forward. We are in our low lunge. If you're having a struggle with your balance, you're welcome to move this foot a little bit more open instead of in line with the hips. If you're still struggling with balance, you can also have your hands down for support. Because right now we're really just working on this lunge. From here, we're going to do a twist, and you have two options. You can have your arms be open and we twist towards this front knee. Or if you have the space, you can bring your hands together and hook the elbow on the other side of the knee. Pressing the hands together, sending you deeper into your twist. We're still pressing forward. And from wherever we are unwinding and bringing our hands down. Next, we're going to shift back into a half split. So we're bringing our weight back so that our back leg is straight. We're going to straighten this leg by lifting it and landing on the heel so that our toes are pointing up. This straightens the leg. If you need to, put a micro bend in this knee. That's totally fine. We want to start from nice and tall so that we have a nice straight spine. And we would like to fold forward. If you need blocks or something to help support you in your fold so that you can reach the ground, that works great. But with a nice tall spine, we're going to hinge at the hips and fold over. There should be some sensation behind the knee, but not too much. We don't want to injure ourselves. And we breathe. If you can't breathe, you need to come out of your pose a little bit. All right, from here, we're going to shift forward, bending more into the knee, coming down onto this foot. And now we're kind of split between both of our legs. We're going to work this foot to the outside of the mat and kind of bringing it back a little bit towards your under shoulders. We're going to bring this arm to the inside. So now we're working on our lizard. If this is where you need to be, stay here. If you would like to raise up onto your back toes, this is a great place to be. If you would like to go a little deeper with your back knee down, you can come down onto your forearms. I'm partway there myself. If you also have the space, you can roll out onto the side of your foot, which lets this knee fall open, creating a deeper hip opening. Wherever you are, make sure there's no pain and you can breathe. All right, we're going to come out of this. So if your foot is on the side, we're going to roll that down. If you're on your forearms, we're going to come back up. Once we're stable, we're going to swing this knee back, coming into a tabletop. And now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take the right leg and extend it back. Bend that knee and bring it forward in between our hands. Once you have your balance, coming up. Again, if you need to move that foot over wider, that is fine. And we're going to push forward, coming into our low lunge. You might notice that one side is easier to do than the other, and that is perfectly normal. And why we do this on both sides, working to bring balance. From here, we're going to find that twist. Again, you can have your arms open, or you can bring your hands together, hook your elbow, and press your hands together, sending you deeper into your twist. We're looking for a straight spine in whichever twist we're doing. And you can breathe. We're going to unwind and bring our hands down for support. We're going to shift our weight back so that our back leg is straight from the knee. We're going to lift this leg so that we land on the heel and this leg is straightened. Put a micro bend in that knee if you need it, or a deeper one. You start from a nice tall spine and hinge at the hips. Again, use your blocks if you need to bring the ground closer. And we breathe. I forgot to mention on the other side, but if this is no problem for you and you have more space, you are welcome to shift your hips back so that you are kind of folding this knee, which gives you a deeper stretch along here if you need it. All right, now we're going to shift forward, bending that front knee, coming onto the foot. We're going to bring this hand to the inside and work that foot out and kind of back in line with our hands and shoulder. We're going to build our lizard on this side. If you feel like you need to stay here, that's fine. If you'd like to come up onto your back toes, lifting that leg, you can do that. If you'd like to come lower, make sure your knee is down before you come onto your forearms. And if you have more space, would like to, you can roll onto the side of your foot, letting that knee drop open. Wherever it is you are, make sure there's no pain and you can breathe. All right, we're going to come out of the pose. So if you have your foot up, roll that foot back down. If you're on your forearms, press back up. And we're going to swing this foot back to the tabletop. All right, and now we're going to come to standing. From here, we're going to start the balancing portion, and we're going to begin with chair. So you want to have your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, and we want to make sure we can always see our toes. So when we bend our knees, we're going to be shifting our hips back. We're not bending our knees forward. We're keeping them as much above the ankle as we can. So we are shifting back. We can see our feet and our arms come forward. Now the angle you're going to have is going to depend on how tight your shoulders are. We'd like to try looking in between our hands. And if you can, tilting your hips so that we don't have this scoop in our lower back. All right, that can be intense if you're not used to it, so let's stand up and stretch. And we're going to sink back down into it, making sure we can see our toes. Arms are lifted, and we unscooped our back. All right, from here we're going to do a little twist. So we're going to take our right hand and send it around and back. We want to make sure we keep our knees level facing the front. And swing that arm back. Inhale all the way up. And sink back down into there. Now we're going to swing the left arm back. Check that your knees are still level. And bring the arm back, standing up, inhale. And let the arms come down. Good. Everyone's balance skill level is different. So if you need to be so that you can touch a wall, that is totally fine. Go ahead and move there and then we can continue. Okay. Now for the real balancing. We are going to do everything on one leg and then we will switch and do everything on the other leg. So it doesn't matter which side you do because we're going to get to both. So I'm going to start with balancing on my left leg. I'm centering all my weight on that foot. I have a micro bend in my knee. I'm now going to lift this right leg and hug the knee. Just starting here. It's a leg stretch and we're keeping our balance nice and centered. Release that leg, let it touch down so you keep your balance down. Still working with the same leg. We're going to bend that knee now. Bring it into our hand. We want the knee pointing straight down. We're pulling that foot up as close to the hip as we can. And to complete this flamingo pose, we would bring our other arm up. But if you're touching a wall or holding on to the back of the chair or something, that's totally fine. And release, lower back down. Now we're going to come into a tree pose. So taking that same right leg, we're going to turn that knee out. The whole time, no matter where your foot is, we're wanting that knee to be as perpendicular to the front of the body as we can. So if you need to have your heel at the other ankle, that's totally fine. If you want to bring that foot up to the calf, that's great. If it's in your practice and you want to have it all the way up on the thigh, that's fine. We never, ever, ever put it at the knee because that's not safe. So it's especially important whenever you're up higher that your leg is pushing against the foot. Creating that pressure there is helping you build stability. We also have that a little bit here, but I find that it's a little bit more strength of holding the leg up as you're balancing here. So wherever you are, we're here for one more breath. And release that. All right. We're going to come into an eagle now. So still balancing on this left leg. We are going to do some arm work here. So for this first part, if you're holding on to something, it's okay that you're not including the arms. We'll get to it. So taking this leg, we're going to wrap it around in front. Now, if your toes need to be touching the ground for this wrap, that's fine. If you can bend your supporting knee and hook your leg on top of it, that's great. If you have a little bit more flexibility and can wrap your toes all the way around that supporting leg, great. Find where you are at. If you're not holding on to something and want to add the arms, we're supporting with our left leg, so our left arm is up here first. Our right scoops under until the elbows meet, and the backs of the arms and hands come together. If you have more space, they wrap around. And our gaze is kind of at our wrists. All right, go ahead and unwrap so that everyone can do the arm work. And again, we have our left arm here, scooping the right under, pulling it back to wherever it is that they meet. All right, we're going to release the hands, and this left arm that's in top is going to reach across the body. The right hand is going to roll this shoulder down and pull that elbow across. So we're doing a little extra shoulder stretching before we go on. And now we're going to come up into cow face arms, which is lifting this left arm up and folding that down. The right arm is scooping, bending from the bottom, and we're working to find our hands. In my classes, I usually have us working with a strap at this point. We want the back of the head to be nice and up. And release that. We have one more balancing before we move to the other side. So again, our balance is on the left leg, slight bend in that knee. We're going to square up because we're going to come into a warrior three. So with warrior three, we are pressing the heel away. We're not pointing our toes, we're pressing with the heel to give us more stability in the leg. You can have your arms forward, out to the side, or supporting you on the ground wherever you are. So here we just hinge, keeping our hips facing forward and level, pressing that heel back. And again, your hands can be down. Wherever your leg is, that's where you are, and that's okay. We can be up higher, actually working on that balance. Wherever it is your place today. And we land in a mountain. And now we're going to do the other side. But before we do that, I want you to take a moment as we're standing here in our mountain and notice each of your legs. The one that's been supporting and the one that's been flying. Do you notice the difference between those legs? All right, so shifting to the other leg. Now we're working on my right. I have a micro bend in my knee. All my weight is on this leg. And I'm going to hug this knee up to me. And again, if you need to be holding onto a wall, a chair, back of the couch, whatever is fine. Touching down. We're going to bend this knee, bringing the foot up, catching it in that left hand. The knee is trying to point straight down. This foot is as close to the hip as we can. And this arm can come up. All right, releasing and touching down. Coming into our tree. And I'm facing you again to make this a little easier. So the knee now is turned out to the side as best we can. Your foot can be touching the ground. because there's still some balance work here because you are in such a small point. Up on the calf or up on the thigh, never, ever, ever on the knee. And again, if you're this high, we're going to really work on pressing that leg into that foot into the leg, creating that tension there to help us hold in place, working the knee out to the side. Wherever you are is okay. All right, we can release that leg and let it touch down. We're now going to come into our eagle. So we're bringing this left leg now out in front. Toes can touch down right there if that's where your body needs. Bending a little bit into there so that you can hook that leg and have it up so you're on one foot. Or letting it twist around if you have that flexibility. If you're not holding onto a chair, we can go ahead and add the arms. So the right leg is supporting us, the right arm is in front, left arm scoops under, elbows meet, and we bring the backs of the hands together or twist them around. All right, go ahead and unwrap the legs. And if you were holding on to something, let's build these arms again. Right one is supporting, left scoops under, elbows meet, backs of the arms come up. And here we are, 3 more breaths. All right, releasing these hands. The right arm is the one that's going to go across the body. Left rolls that shoulder down, pulls that elbow across, getting deeper into that shoulder stretch. Taking this elbow and we're going to lift it up, bend that hand down. The left arm scoops from underneath, trying to reach those fingers. When we can reach the fingers, our fingers are interlocking. Our elbows pointing up and down. If you're not here yet, that's okay. It's taken a lot of work to get here. All right, and releasing those arms, we have one more balance here. So we're still working on this leg. We're going to come into our warrior 3. So hinging at the hips, pressing that heel away for stability. Your hands can be down. Your hands can be out at the side or reached forward. And land in mountain. Now that we've done both sides, take another moment. Notice your legs. Is there a difference now that you've done both sides? All right. We're going to now come to a wide leg stance. And we want to start with our toes pointing out at a 90-degree angle, at a 45-degree angle or so. We're going to reach our arms up, stretching, and now we're going to bend both of our knees and bend our elbows coming into goddess. So we have cactus arms, and we're down here, and breathing, pressing into the feet. Actively pressing in helps stabilize this pose. And reaching up. Now we're going to turn our feet so our toes are forward and fold forward. If you're having trouble reaching the ground, this is another great place for a block. All right, we are going to work both of our hands towards one of our ankles. And you have two options, and you can just pick which one you want. We're going for a stretch here. It can be a side stretch, depending on how your torso is angled, or you could be coming into a twist. Whichever one you pick, you're going to have to do the other one on the other side. If you're not able to balance with both hands on the ankle, go ahead and set the other hand down. And now we're going to work our way to the other ankle, finding that same stretch you just took. And again, if you need the balance help, place your hand out. All right, working our way back towards center. If you have a block, make sure that you are going to use it. So instead of having our hands back towards our feet, we're going to walk a little bit forward so that we're kind of like a table with as flat a spine as possible. We're going to place one hand in the center, and with the other arm, we're going to open up into a twist. We want to keep our hips level, so maybe you don't come very far in this twist. That's okay. And now we're going to lower back down and switch hands and open up to the other side. Again, keeping your hips level. Maybe you could twist a little deeper on that side. And we're going to unwind. From here, we're going to come into a squat with a straight leg. So what I mean is, we're going to shift our weight towards one side, bending one knee forward, coming up onto those toes, keeping this leg straight, rolling up onto that heel, and here we are. If you're feeling a lot of sensation in this leg, bend that knee. It's okay. This is another place where we're balancing though, because we're balancing up on the balls of the feet. Great. Bring that arm back in, because we're going to lift back up. And walk to the other side. Our weight is shifted over here. We're going to bend this knee now. Letting that leg straighten, rolling up onto that heel, and balancing here. Again, if you need to bend that knee because there's too much sensation, go ahead. All right, bring your arm inside, come back up into your fold. Take a breath in, let it out, and carefully roll back up. And now we're going to step our feet together. We're going to keep them a little more than hip distance apart. So we're going to come into a squat. Now you're going to come into the squat wherever it is that's best for you. And there is a way to use a block in here, which I'll explain in a minute. But first, we're going to just come down here. If this is where your squat is, that's great. If you're able to come a little lower, that's great. If you come up onto the balls of your feet, that's fine. If you're able to have your ankles, your heels down, that's great too. You can sit on a block, and that is perfectly okay. Wherever we are, we just want to sit here for a moment in our squat. Before releasing and finding our seat. We're going to come into a bound angle, so we're bringing the soles of the feet together. We're sitting up nice and tall before we fold forward. If you'd like a little extra stretch, you are welcome to open your feet like a book. That opens the groin a little bit more because the way the ankles are connected, it sends the the knees down. But that's optional. And we're going to come back up. So again, we're going to do both sides. It doesn't matter which one you pick to start, but we're going to bring one foot closer to the groin and send the other leg out straight. We want the knee to always be facing up. We want the toes always active and pointing up. To start, we're going to fold forward. Coming back up. We're going to place our hand on the inside of the long leg. The other arm reaches up and over, and we are in a side fold. So we're looking for a nice stretch here. Breathing into the lungs, feeling the rib cage expand and contract. If you find your shoulder is sinking forward, you are welcome to take your arm wrapped around your back. Pulling that there pulls that shoulder more open. On an inhale, we come back up. We're going to kind of turn and face this leg, and we are going to fold forward. You can have your arms on the leg, you can reach to the toes, but it's also okay to just rest your hands on either side of the leg. On an inhale, we're going to come back up. We are going to swing this leg around in front of us, and we're going to lift this knee. So again, toes are still pointing up. The opposite arm is going to grab this knee, and we're going to twist. Spine nice and tall, chin is parallel to the floor. Unwinding. Next, we're going to come into a half fire log. If you know what the fire log pose is and safely do it in your practice, you can take the full expression. Otherwise, we're going to lift this foot up so that it is just past the knee, and we're going to let this knee fall open. We want this lower leg to be parallel with the top of your mat, assuming you're still facing that way. And we sit up nice and tall. All right, next we're going to come into cradle the baby. We're going to lift here into our elbow. We're going to hug here, and we're trying to lift it up towards our heart while we stay grounded with our sits bones. And we rock back and forth. This is a really, really deep stretch for the hips. All right, with control, we're going to lower this. And we're going to bring this foot around towards our hip. We want to try to line up our knees as best we can. This is a half cow face legs, or Gomukhasana legs. If you know the full expression, you are welcome to take it. All right, we're going to place the hands, fingers facing forward, just behind the hips to lean back. Uncross the legs and windshield wiper. And now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to straighten that leg, bring that other foot in towards the hip. Knee is always facing up, toes are always facing up, and we fold forward. We come back up. Our hand is on the inside of the leg, other arm reaches up and over into the side stretch. Again, if your shoulder is coming forward, you can take that wrap if you'd like. And breathe into your rib cage. Feel that expansion. up and unwinding. We're going to turn and face that extended foot and fold over it. Lifting back up. We're going to bring this straightened foot in front of us. Lift this knee up. I'm going to take the opposite arm, wrap it around that knee and twist. Nice and tall spine. Unwinding. We're going to come into that half thigh log. If you know it, you can take the full expression. Bringing that foot just past the knee. Lower leg is parallel to the top of your mat. Coming into cradle the baby, lifting your foot in towards the elbow crease, hugging that knee up to your chest, and gently rocking back and forth. Lowering it with control, and then bringing this foot towards the opposite hip, stacking the knees as best you can. If you are able to take the cow-like expression, the full expression, you are welcome to. Placing the hands just back behind the hips, fingertips facing forward, leaning back, uncrossing the legs, and windshield wiper. And making our way onto our backs. So we've made our way onto our backs. First, we're going to hug our knees into our heart. And then we're going to let our legs go out long, reach our fingertips up, and we're going to full body stretch, reaching those fingers and toes away from each other for relaxing. We're going to tap, tap, tap our ankles over to the left. Reach our hands over to the left, trying to keep your arms touching the ground the whole time. Finding a side body stretch on the right. We're going to tap, tap, tap through center all the way to the right. And swing your arms towards the right. Again, trying to keep your arms touching the ground. Finding a stretch in the left side body. Tapping back through center. Bringing your arms back in. Lowering them, bending your knees. And now we're going to come into happy baby. So we're working our knees towards our armpits. And we can grab our legs, our ankles, or our feet. Coming into this. And if you'd like, you can rock side to side, giving your lower back a massage. Releasing the hands, letting the feet touch the ground so we have bent knees. We're going to send our arms out in a T shape, and I invite you to actually turn your palms face up and shift around on your back so that your shoulder blades are lying flat against the ground. And we're going to take both knees and send them to the left, keeping your shoulders grounded. We're in this twist, and if you'd like, you can turn your face the opposite direction of your knees. Breathing here, deep to your belly. With control on an inhale, bringing your knees back up through center before letting them fall to the other side. Again, keeping your shoulders planted on the earth. And now you can turn your face and again in the opposite direction of your knees. Still breathing deeply to the belly. Bringing your knees back up through center on an inhale and sending your legs out long, letting your arms come to a comfortable place, whether that's on your belly or laying at your side. And again, face down, you're going to have a little more lift on your shoulders. But face up, your shoulder blades are tucked away and you're a little bit more grounded and supported. And I invite you to close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Notice where it's at. Is it tight? Is it shallow? Is it relaxed? Is it deep? And where does your breath go to? Now, I invite you to bring your breath down into your belly, feeling your belly fill up and rise on the inhale, sink and relax on the exhale. Just breathing into this space, breathing into our belly, calmly, slowly, settling our body. And now I would like you to bring your awareness to every place your body touches the earth. Notice all those points where you feel support from the surface beneath you. And from these points of contact, I invite you to imagine roots beginning from these places and going downward, down through whatever you're sitting on, down through the floor, into the earth, and now deeper, sending these roots from your body deep into the earth. With each breath, we inhale, and with our exhale, we send these roots deeper down, growing, expanding their network, spreading deep, spreading wide, just growing and connecting you with the earth. Breathing and expanding this root system. Going deeper down, seeking the core of the earth, this energy center far below us. With your eyes closed here, maybe you can sense whenever you reach this energy center. Maybe you can see a color, a red or a green, and maybe you don't, and that's okay. But we reach down, connecting all of our roots to this
powerful earth energy. And we notice this earth energy. We notice its qualities, noticing the support, noticing the strength, noticing the grounding, noticing the love and compassion that is offered unconditionally by this energy deep in the earth. And now that we have found and acknowledged this energy, I invite you to draw it up. I invite you to, on your inhale, draw this earth energy up your roots. And it may take a while for you to mentally bring this energy all the way up. And that's okay. But with each inhale, we pull more of this energy up our roots towards our body. And then once we reach our body, we let this energy fill ourselves. We let ourselves fill with the feeling of grounding, support, strength, power, and love. We don't need to do anything to receive this energy, to receive these beautiful qualities the earth so naturally and willingly provides. We let it fill our whole being. Maybe there's only one of these qualities you need right now. You're welcome to just focus on the one, to receive what you need to receive. And as we have filled with this good energy, I invite you to think about some things you need to release. Worries, stressors, fears, habits, and thought patterns that do not serve you. I invite you to think of these things and send them down with your exhale through your root system into the earth. Releasing and sending them down into the earth where they will be recycled. As we send these thoughts down on our inhale, we still bring in more of the grounding, supportive earth energy. And so this becomes a cycle. On our exhales, we send down what no longer serves us. We release these negativities. And we inhale grounding, support, nourishment. And I invite you to just continue doing this cycle. Inhaling the goodness and exhaling to release. Just circling, cycling. And as you have been breathing, I now invite you to think of gratitude. Gratitude to the earth and what it provides, this energy, and also just in the natural world. It provides the air that we breathe, the foundation where we can build our homes and our lives. It provides the nourishment that we feed our bodies. It provides wonder and joy and peace when we allow it to, when we seek it out. So find your gratitude for the earth, and now I invite you to send that gratitude down the roots. Gratitude for the earth and thanking it for how it always plays a role in your life and for this energy you have received just now. And now that we have thanked the earth with this gratitude, I invite you to draw your awareness back up the roots, disengaging from this energy source for now. Coming back to your body slowly and gently with compassion, focusing on your breath, the inhales to your belly, and the way you relax into the exhale.
Wiggling your fingers and toes, gently rotating wrists and ankles, bringing movement back. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side and pausing, taking another breath or two in the space between your practice and what's waiting for you next. And when you're ready, sitting up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I hope it was what you needed, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.